Have you ever wondered just how much potential you have? Well, perhaps it's time to find out. To do that, the ISSA Hygieia Network is providing a webinar entitled Maximizing Human Potential. It is scheduled for August 26th. And with us today is the webinar facilitator, Richard or Bodo, who's the Vice President of Sales from Square Scrub, and also the program creator and sponsor, Holly Borrego, the Senior Vice President from KBS Facility Services. Glad to have you to talk about this event. Like I said, August 26th, but we want people to be aware of it so they can attend and take advantage of the content. But let's start with you, Holly, as the program creator and sponsor. You know, I'm sure you were instrumental in choosing who was going to facilitate this webinar. So my question is, why Bo?
Well, for one, Bo has been a training manager for over 17 years, and I know that as a vendor for the company that for the company that I worked for, he was instrumental in creating training content and videos for our field employees. So I know how good he is at it.
I think he's blushing right now. Maybe not. Yeah, I know Bo many years. I know he's an excellent trainer. So this will be a fantastic webinar that we can look forward to. So Bo, we'll start with you. Can you tell us why this topic, maximizing human potential, is critical to those engaged in the cleaning industry?
Well, Jeff, when it comes to maximizing human potential, especially in a labor market like today, where employers are struggling to retain employees, I think creating a program that allows employees to develop and achieve success is important. So the topics we're going to focus on are skills that are critical for anyone looking to develop themselves or develop themselves as leaders in the organization. We're going to focus on three fundamental skills that leaders must have. We're going to talk about the ability to communicate effectively, the ability to get work done through others, and the ability to develop effective relationships. So maximizing human potential is not just about the leader, but how to maximize the potential for others on your team.
And that's important. We want everyone to attend this. Everyone can benefit. Holly, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's very critical to understand, one of the goals that we have is to get training to the frontline supervision and management layers within the service industry. I know coming up through the industry the way I did, resources were scarce, and it's hard to get some of that information that you need. And so we picked topics that are critical to the development of someone who wants to move to the next level.
Good information. Let me ask this, what makes this webinar unique? There's so many webinars.
Well, Jeff, I was going to say the thing for me that is going to make this unique in terms of webinars is, my focus on making sure that the participants have some time to interact. I mean, typically, if you attend a webinar, it's a one-way communication. Someone is on a screen like me, and they're communicating information one way. But what we really want to do is give people the ability to interact and share thoughts and ideas. So while we're going to have a 2-hour webinar, we're going to split up the time so that a significant portion of it is actually spent with, you in a small group virtually with maybe 10 people discussing a question, talking about thoughts, and hearing other people. So we're going to be going in and out of like a live session with everyone into small groups back to the live session. So it's going to be very interactive.
And Holly, have you had these webinars in the past, this topic?
No, we haven't. And that's why we're so excited about it, Jeff. It really is delivering that information that can help them in their day-to-day work. It's a tough job, and getting this information to them and learning from others the way this has been designed, I think, is critical to their development.
Yeah, making history, fresh content we can look forward to. Here, this last question, what are some top strategies that attendees will take away? Maybe a little sneak peek, share some tips. Bo, what are you going to talk about? I know you mentioned a few things.
Yeah, there's a number of things. We've worked really hard as the ISSA Hygieia Education Committee to come up with some great content. And so I would say there's going to be three things you're going to walk away with. You're going to walk away with some tools that will help you communicate more effectively. I mean, when we talk about maximizing human potential, this is one of the things that, I was really excited about when, Holly started talking about the power of 5. And I do want to talk about that in a second. But, the ability to communicate effectively, get work done through others, and develop effective relationships. I mean, as a young leader, those are three skills that you desperately need to have. And, if I could just add on to that, I think one of the things that, people need to understand is, as the ISSA Hygieia network, we're actually developing a fuller content. I mean, what you're going to see in August is really kind of a small preview of 5 pillars that we're laying out. And Holly tells a story of when she was brand new as a manager. She was kind of thrown into the mix and just said, "Hey, go do this." And what I thought was really unique is she had an approach where she boiled down every job to 5 basics. If you could just get that person to do those 5 things, they would be successful. And I think that's really important, because when you start to talk about human performance and what makes people successful, Abraham Maslow years ago developed a hierarchy of needs that you have to have, in order for someone to perform. At a foundational layer, they have to have food, clothing, shelter, but secondarily, they have to have safety. That's the second thing that you really need for humans to perform. And when you give someone 5 things and say, just master this, don't worry about everything else in the universe of your job, master these 5 things, do them well. That's really revolutionary, this approach that Holly came up with. So, maximizing human potential is part of 5 pillars that we're going to develop for new leaders. Managing yourself, maximizing human potential, managing training, managing budgets, and managing customers. And so there's going to be a lot that comes out of this ISSA Hygieia Network event. And this is, like I said, just a preview.
Well, Holly, it sounds like a game changer, and you're instrumental in this. Anything to add as we wrap this up?
Yeah, just it's the kind of a little bit about what Bo talked about with the Power of 5. It's about getting back to basics and giving people enough information that is helpful, but not too much that it becomes noise. So that's really kind of the focus of the delivery system.
Right. Well, thank you both. And as a reminder, this is the Maximizing Human Potential webinar by the Hygieia Network. And if folks want to register, just go to hygienanetwork.org/webinars. And all that information is below the video as well. Well, Bo, Holly, thank you for your time today, and we'll see you at the webinar.